Have you, or someone you love, been lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why it's so hard to fall asleep these days, even when you're completely exhausted? Maybe you've noticed this in your aging parent or grandparent. They used to sleep through the night just fine, but now they wake up at 2 a.m., wide-eyed. Or maybe they toss and turn for hours before even drifting off. You hear it in their voice the next morning when they say, "I just didn't sleep well again last night." And you can tell they're more tired during the day, more irritable, a little more forgetful. You try to help, maybe a new pillow, a different blanket, some herbal tea, but nothing seems to really work. And it's frustrating because you know how important sleep is for them. See, as we get older, sleep becomes more fragile, and yet more vital than ever. It affects everything from memory and focus to blood pressure and emotional balance. And let's be honest, nobody wants to rely on sleep medications every night. You want something natural, gentle, something that really works. Here's the good news. It turns out some of the most powerful tools for better sleep aren't found in a pharmacy. They're right on your plate. That's right. In today's video, we're diving into 7 amazing foods that can actually help seniors sleep better and longer without side effects or risky sleep aids. These foods don't just promote deeper rest, they support brain health, relaxation, and long-term wellness. And let me tell you, number 5 on the list, it's a game changer, and almost nobody talks about it. So if better sleep matters to you or someone you love, take a moment right now to comment "better rest" down below. It's a small way to say, yes, this matters. I'm ready to help. And if you're new here, welcome to Elder Talks Daily, your go-to place for senior health, wellness, and support. Hit that subscribe button because every week we're here to help you navigate aging with compassion, dignity, and knowledge that makes a real difference. All right, let's talk about the first food that can help turn sleepless nights into truly restful ones. First, kiwi. Let me tell you about Elaine. She's 76, lives alone since her husband passed, and for years, sleep just didn't come easy. She tried everything: lavender sprays, bedtime podcasts, warm milk, but nothing truly stuck. Then one day her daughter suggested something simple, something green: kiwi. Elaine started eating 2 kiwi fruits about an hour before bed, just to try it out. Within a couple of weeks, she called her daughter in disbelief. "I slept through the night, honey. No waking up at 3 a.m. for once, just sleep." Now here's the science behind that sweet little fruit. Kiwi is loaded with serotonin, which is a key hormone your body uses to regulate sleep. And when serotonin levels are balanced, your brain knows when to power down and drift into rest. But kiwi isn't just a serotonin booster. It's packed with antioxidants like vitamin C and E, which help reduce inflammation that can interfere with healthy sleep patterns. But here's the thing. Most people overlook kiwi. Why? Well, they think it's too tangy, or maybe it just doesn't seem like the kind of fruit you'd eat before bed. But that's the mistake, because just 2 small kiwis, eaten in the evening, can significantly improve sleep quality in older adults. It's light, it's easy on digestion, and it can quietly reset a restless night. So if you or your loved one are tired of lying awake, try keeping a few ripe kiwis on hand. Peel them, slice them, enjoy them with a cup of herbal tea, or just as they are. It's a small shift, but it could be the one that changes your nights. And kiwi, it's just the beginning. Let's move on to something a little warmer and a lot more familiar. Second, chamomile tea. Grandpa used to call it his liquid peace. Every evening around 8 o'clock, he'd shuffle into the kitchen, put the kettle on and say, "Time for my peace in a cup." That's what chamomile tea was to him. A quiet moment, a signal to the body and mind that the day was over and it was time to rest. And he wasn't wrong. Chamomile has been used for thousands of years, yes, literally, for its calming effects. But what makes it more than just an old folk remedy is what's inside the plant. Chamomile contains apigenin, a natural antioxidant that binds to specific receptors in your brain, the same ones that help you relax and fall asleep. Think of it like this. Your brain has little sleep switches, and apigenin gently helps flip them off one by one. Now here's where a lot of people go wrong. They assume any herbal tea will do the trick. maybe peppermint, maybe lemon balm. And while those have benefits, chamomile is unique. Its chemical structure is specifically geared toward calming the nervous system in a way that other herbs just don't replicate. And the best part? There's zero caffeine, no chemicals, and no side effects. It's pure, it's gentle, and when brewed right, steeped in hot water for at least 5 minutes, ideally 30 minutes before bed, it becomes a ritual that signals peace to your entire body. So if you or someone you love struggles with racing thoughts before sleep, if the quiet of the night brings restlessness instead of rest, start with something simple, a warm mug of chamomile. It doesn't just soothe the body, it comforts the soul. And speaking of comfort, our next food wraps around your brain like a cozy blanket. Let's talk about something creamy, familiar, and surprisingly powerful. Third, Tart cherries. You know, there was this fascinating study a while back. They took a group of older adults, folks just like you or someone you know, and had them drink Tart cherry juice twice a day. No pills, no changes to their routine, just a small glass in the morning and another in the evening. And the results? They slept longer. They slept deeper. One participant even said, "It was the first time in years I didn't wake up 3 times during the night." That's the kind of sleep we all crave as we age. Not just more sleep, but better sleep. Now here's what makes Tart cherries so special. They're one of the few natural foods that contain melatonin. That's the hormone your body makes when it's time to fall asleep. But as we get older, melatonin production slows down. That's why falling asleep, or staying asleep, can feel like such a battle. Tart cherries also contain tryptophan, the same amino acid found in turkey that helps you feel sleepy after Thanksgiving dinner. Together, melatonin and tryptophan work like a 1-2 punch, helping you drift off naturally without any grogginess the next day. But, and this is important, not all cherries are created equal. Most people reach for sweet cherries thinking they'll do the same job. They're tasty, sure, but they don't have the same sleep-enhancing compounds. It's tart cherries you want, usually found in juice form, or dried if you prefer something chewy. And you don't need a lot. Just a small glass, about 4 to 8 ounces, in the evening is enough to make a noticeable difference for many folks. It's simple, it's delicious, and it supports the kind of deep, healing rest your body truly needs. Now let's keep this going. Because the next item, it's not only a bedtime favorite, it also supports brain health. And if you've ever worried about memory lapses or foggy mornings, you'll want to hear this next one. 4. Oatmeal. You probably think of oatmeal as a morning meal, right? Something warm and hearty to start your day. But here's something most people don't know. A small bowl of oats before bed might be one of the best nighttime habits for better sleep. There was a caregiver who once told us about her mother, an 82-year-old woman with the kindest eyes and the most stubborn case of insomnia you've ever seen. Nothing helped. Until one evening, out of pure exhaustion, she gave her mom a warm bowl of oats. Just a half cup, nothing fancy, no sugar. And that night, she slept peacefully, not just for a few hours, but through the entire night. And from then on, it became their little ritual, a spoonful of comfort before bed and 8 hours of rest to follow. Now, here's why this works. Oats are a natural source of melatonin, yes, but more than that, they help the body produce insulin, which in turn helps tryptophan travel to the brain. Tryptophan is that calming amino acid we talked about earlier, the one that makes you feel relaxed and sleepy. Oats are like the quiet helper that unlocks the door to your body's natural sleep chemistry. A lot of people say, "Isn't that too heavy for nighttime?" But it's all about portion and simplicity. You're not sitting down to a full breakfast. You're simply giving your body a gentle, digestible snack that supports rest. Here's what works best. A small bowl of plain oats, no sugar, no syrup, topped with a few banana slices or a dollop of almond butter. You get the complex carbs, the potassium, a bit of magnesium, and it all works together to calm the nervous system, regulate blood sugar, and prime your body for sleep. It's cozy, it's comforting, and it's something you can do tonight with ingredients you probably already have in the pantry. Now, what if I told you that a nut, yes, a simple nut, could help you relax your muscles, ease tension, and quiet your racing thoughts before bed? Let's talk about that next. 5. Almonds. Now let me tell you about someone I met at a local wellness workshop. A man in his early 70s, full of stories and wisdom. He leaned in close, smiled and said, "You know what knocks me out better than any pill? A handful of almonds. That's it." And he wasn't joking. He said he started eating almonds before bed, just 5 or 6, and within a week his tossing and turning slowed down, until eventually it stopped. He said it felt like someone had finally flipped the off switch in his brain. Now here's what makes almonds so special. They're loaded with magnesium, which plays a key role in promoting deep sleep and muscle relaxation. Magnesium actually helps reduce cortisol levels. That's the stress hormone that keeps your mind racing when your body is begging to rest. But almonds don't stop there. They're also packed with healthy fats and a touch of protein, which helps stabilize blood sugar overnight. And when your blood sugar is steady, your body isn't waking you up at 2 a.m. looking for fuel. It's like fueling a fire just enough so it burns slow and steady through the night. Now, there's a common mistake here, and it's a big one. Not all almonds are created equal. If you're snacking on the salted, honey-roasted, or sugar-coated ones, you're actually making sleep harder, not easier. Sodium and added sugar stimulate your system when you're trying to calm it down. So here's the advice. Go for raw or dry roasted almonds. No added salt, no fancy flavors. And stick to just a small handful. That's all you need. Too many, and your stomach might get a little too busy during the night. Think of it as a nighttime ritual. You sit down, maybe read a page or two of a good book, have your almonds, and let the calm settle in. It's small but mighty, a simple act of self-care that helps your body rest. And now, if you're someone who enjoys a warm, comforting drink in the evening, there's an option that not only soothes the soul, but helps your brain wind down naturally. Let's talk about that creamy cup of calm that does more than just warm the belly. 6. Warm milk. Ever wonder why warm milk is such a bedtime classic? Why it shows up in bedtime stories, passed down through generations, whispered into the nighttime routines of grandkids and grandparents alike? Well, there's a reason for that. And it's not just an old wives' tale. See, there's something almost magical about a cup of warm milk before bed. Not only is it rich in tryptophan, that same natural amino acid we mentioned earlier, which your body uses to create serotonin and melatonin, but the act of drinking something warm itself sends a powerful message to your brain. It's time to slow down. You're safe. You can rest now. One older woman once told me, "I don't even care about the milk. It's the comfort I crave. That soft moment before sleep when I sit in my favorite chair and hold that warm cup in both hands." It's psychological and physical comfort wrapped in one simple routine. But here's where some folks unintentionally cancel out the benefits. Avoid adding sugar, chocolate, or flavored syrups. Those sweeteners may taste nostalgic, but they spike your blood sugar and keep your brain wired when it should be winding down. Instead, try warming up plain milk and adding a pinch of cinnamon, a natural blood sugar balancer, or turmeric, which is gentle on the stomach and has anti-inflammatory properties. It's soothing, healing, and simple. And it's not just for dairy lovers. If you're lactose intolerant or prefer plant-based options, unsweetened almond milk or oat milk can work too. Just make sure they're calcium fortified and free from added sugars. The beauty of this ritual is that it's not just about nutrients, it's about habit. The familiar warmth, the stillness, the way it gently shifts your body into a relaxed state. That's what makes it powerful. Now, we've covered fruits, drinks, grains, nuts. But this final item we're about to talk about might catch you off guard, because it's not technically a food at all. Yet without it, even the best bedtime snack won't be enough. Let's talk about the one invisible ingredient that could make or break your sleep. 7. Hydration. Now I want you to think about this. Have you ever finally gotten comfortable in bed, only to wake up an hour later, desperate for the bathroom? Or maybe you didn't drink enough water during the day, and now your mouth's dry, your legs are cramping, and your body just can't seem to settle? Hydration, or the lack of it, might be the most overlooked part of a good night's sleep. And while it's not something you chew or sip at bedtime like the others we've talked about, it affects everything. One gentleman once said to me, "I'd sleep fine if I didn't have to get up 3 times a night? When we looked at his habits, we found something surprising. He was drinking almost all of his water late in the day. So his kidneys, they were working overtime while he was trying to rest. The key is this: front load your hydration, drink water consistently throughout the morning and afternoon. By evening, start tapering off. That way your body gets everything it needs without flooding your system at night. But here's the second mistake. Some folks, especially older adults, don't drink enough water at all. They say, "I'm not thirsty," or "I don't want to have to go too often." But mild dehydration can lead to restless legs, dry nasal passages, and even nighttime confusion or agitation, especially in older folks. You don't need to chug a gallon. Just sip wisely during the day, aim for clear urine, and avoid large amounts within 2 hours of bed. So yes, hydration may be invisible, but when done right, it supports every other thing we've talked about today. I know this isn't easy. Watching someone you love, maybe a parent, a spouse, even yourself, struggle night after night just to get some rest, it's heartbreaking. You stand there, quietly wishing there was something, anything you could do to make it better. And sometimes you feel helpless, because no matter how many pillows you fluff, how quiet the room is, or how many routines you try, the sleep just doesn't come. But here's the truth that rarely gets talked about. Sometimes the answer isn't in a pill bottle. Sometimes it's in the small, almost ordinary choices we make each day. What we eat, when we eat, how we wind down. And when you understand that, even just a little, it gives you back a sense of control, of purpose, of hope. This isn't just about sleep. It's about restoring dignity. It's about giving your loved one a sense of peace. It's about waking up in the morning not feeling groggy or drained, but clear-headed, energized, even happy. You know, I've seen older adults go from being constantly exhausted and frustrated to suddenly enjoying their mornings again. It started with small changes: a handful of almonds before bed, a warm mug of milk with cinnamon, a bowl of oatmeal shared with a daughter at the kitchen table, under soft lighting, with music humming in the background. These are the moments we overlook, but they stack up. They build comfort, and they help the body remember how to rest. So tonight, start simple. Maybe it's slicing a kiwi. Maybe it's setting aside 5 quiet minutes with a cup of chamomile tea. You don't need to change everything all at once, but you do need to start. And when you do those little actions, they send a powerful message. I care, I'm trying, and I believe it can get better. Because it can. Better sleep is within reach. And it doesn't require fancy gadgets, expensive supplements, or another restless night spent searching the internet for solutions. All it takes is a little intention, a little patience, and a little love. You're not alone in this, and neither is your loved one. Here at Elder Talks Daily, we walk this journey with you, step by step, night by night, and we're not going anywhere. Let's take a quick moment to recap everything we've covered today. We've talked about 7 amazing sleep-supporting foods that can help bring restful nights back into your life. The kiwi, with its natural sleep-inducing properties. The soothing, comforting chamomile tea, perfect for winding down. The power-packed Tart cherries, your natural melatonin boost. The hearty, satisfying oatmeal, more than just a breakfast favorite. The almonds, rich in magnesium, a quiet hero for muscle relaxation. The warm milk, that timeless comfort that does more than just soothe. And let's not forget the importance of proper hydration, because our bodies need water to function well, especially at night. These are small, simple changes you can make to improve sleep. And when we make small changes, we begin to see big differences. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods have you tried before? Maybe you've already found that a bowl of oatmeal at night helps you sleep like a baby. Or perhaps you've been sipping chamomile tea for years, and it's your go-to wind-down ritual. Whatever it is, share your thoughts with me in the comments. And hey, if you have any family remedies or tips for better sleep that you've learned over the years, let's share them. This community is all about learning from one another, so let's keep the conversation going and help each other out. If this video sparked any new ideas or helped you see sleep in a different light, I'd be so grateful if you could give this video a like. And don't forget, if you'd like to keep receiving tips on how to care for your aging loved ones with knowledge and kindness, subscribe to Elder Talks Daily. We're here every week with new content to support you on this beautiful journey of caregiving. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you being here, and I hope you're feeling inspired to make a small change tonight, whether it's trying a slice of kiwi or brewing a warm cup of milk. Until next time, stay healthy, stay loving, and most importantly, keep the nights restful. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.